exciting video for you guys. As you may know, I've been working on a huge crochet project, granny square blanket, and this is the final part of my crochet blanket series. This is part 3. I'll have linked below the first and second parts to the series. Today I'm here because I have finished all 900 granny squares. That's right, my blanket is gonna be massive. A massive 900 granny square blanket. The only problem is I haven't weaved in any of the ends of any of them. I still have a lot of work to do on this blanket, but we're gonna finish it in this video. I don't know how long this video is gonna take me to record. It took me 2 months to crochet all of these, all 900 of these, which is pretty good because when I first started, I literally thought it was gonna take me a whole year. We're doing pretty good on that aspect, but I have a feeling this video is gonna take me a long time to record and get done. So here's the game plan. I'm going to weave in all of the ends for all 900 granny squares, and then I'm going to sew all of them together. I'm still not 100% set on if I'm going to need all 900 granny squares because it's going to be a really big blanket if I do use all 900, which I do want. Also, another update, in the previous 2 videos I mentioned possibly steaming the granny squares, steaming all 900. Yeah, I'm not going to do that. I'll show you. I had a test granny square that I steamed and it turned out fine, but this one is steamed compared to this one that hasn't been steamed. You can tell this one is a bit bigger, and just feeling it, it feels thinner, like it's been stretched out. But the thing is, the one that's been steamed, the stitches are a little bit thinner than the one that hasn't been steamed. It would just be easier for me to sew them together before I use any heat on them. Plus, that would just be insane to have to seam and block 900 individual squares. So my plan, instead of steaming them to make the blanket more uniform, I'm just going to wash the blanket once it's all sewn together on like a high heat setting. I can already tell you some of them are really small, some of them are a lot bigger. They're just very uneven. I hope the unevenness won't be an issue when I start sewing these together. No 2 granny squares are the same, so I'm very proud of that because I thought I was gonna have to start repeating the colors. I'll show you what this looks like laid out on the ground. This should be like a Guinness World Record or something. This looks insane. And I bet it's gonna look even crazier when it's like an actual blanket and it's like massive. Here are all of them. They are stacked up, so 6 to each stack, and it's 15 by 10, so 15 times 10 times 6 is 900. Look at all those colors. That looks insane. I can't wait to weave in all these ends and sew them together. So I'm just gonna start weaving in the ends of the granny squares. This is what I'm using to weave in the ends. Just a plastic needle. Let's get into it. I can't believe I'm finally finishing this project. This is what I'm having to deal with. All of these ends on 900 pieces. Also, something I forgot to say in the beginning, I will be keeping all of my little yarn scraps that I cut off because I decided to make this a zero waste project. Woo! We're being sustainable, girlies. Just like I said in the first part of this 3-part series, I'm a sustainable girly. So we're keeping all the yarn scraps, and the reason is because I can use it as polyfilling. I'm probably gonna have a lot of yarn scraps, so I'm excited for that. First granny square with all of its ends weaved in. Oh yeah, oh yeah. Only 899 more to go. They're dusty because they've been just laying around for 2 months. They're covered in my hair, they're dusty and making me sneeze. Hey guys, it's a week and a half later. I'm coming here to update you. I have weaved in the ends on 660 granny squares. I'm over halfway done with weaving in the ends. Very exciting stuff. And I should be done weaving in the ends pretty soon, within the next couple days. I ended up breaking a needle. I split the eye right in half. If you're using these needles, these plastic ones, just be gentle. I'm gonna show you what I got going on down here. Here are all 666 granny squares with the ends weaved in. They're looking pretty good and funky. Less than 300 to go. When I first started weaving in these dang granny square ends, it wasn't fun for me. I was being really slow at it. That's why I'm here a week and a half later. Yeah, I just thought it was really boring and I was really overwhelmed looking at almost 1,000 granny squares that needed their ends weaved in. Now I think it's kind of relaxing. I have a rhythm and I'm pretty quick at it now. But now I'm like, oh, I'm almost done. My blanket's almost done. I can see the finish line and I'm sprinting towards it, guys. The next time you see me, I'll have all 900 granny squares with their ends weaved in. Hey guys, it's only 3 days later and I have weaved in all of the ends of all 900 granny squares. I'm gonna go ahead and show you all of the scraps that I have. I was able to fill up this entire box. I don't want these to fall out, but look at that. That is insane how much yarn that is. And it looks really pretty. I wish there was a way to like turn this into a fabric or something. But I have no idea how to do that, so I already have a project in mind for all of this. It's kind of dusty. Holy crap. So I guess I'll show you all of the granny squares laid out on the ground. Here they are all laid out, all 900 with their ends weaved in, ready to be sewn up. Okay, now for the last step of this whole entire project is joining them all together. This will probably take a really long time too. Weaving in all the ends really didn't take as long as I thought. I just kind of took a while to do it because I was kind of overwhelmed. On my next project, I'm probably going to weave in the ends as I work through the granny squares and not wait to the end of the project to weave in 900 ends. I did learn today that you can join the granny squares with crochet. I learned this today. There is a technique called join as you go. Yeah, I'm not gonna crochet them together because that would be messing up the dimensions of the whole blanket and I would have a lot of extra granny squares. So I'm just gonna go with my second plan B, which was to use an invisible seam and sew them together. Okay, I drew up some diagrams and I'm gonna show you how I'm gonna attack this. Don't judge my beautifully drawn diagrams. I just threw these together in like 10 minutes. As you can see, what you're looking at is a strip of 30 granny squares sewn together, 1 by 30. So first I'm gonna do that, make one row of 30. Then I'm gonna make 30 of those rows of 30. Need 30 strips. Then I'm gonna connect all 30 of the 30 rows together, which equals 900. That's the plan. And then putting the granny squares together, I'm not gonna be too picky about how all of the colors flow together. The one thing I just don't want to do is, again, this is a beautifully drawn diagram. I don't want, no, the granny squares with the outside colors sewn together touching each other. I do want the granny squares to have different colors touching. That's what I'm gonna do. I am hoping to get 2 strips of 30 done every day, but I'll also be adding all of my scraps from sewing them together. I'll be adding it to my scraps pile. This is what the invisible seam looks like. This is just my tester. I think it looks pretty nice and seamless. So let's get to sewing. I got 3 of them together. Woo! Hey guys, it's the next day, and here's what I've done since yesterday. Yeah, you might be asking, hey, I thought you were gonna make 30 strips. What happened to that? As you can see, I have 2 of the 30 long strips connected together, but I realized after making the second strip, I'm like, I'm gonna have to number all of these and keep them stacked in an organized manner, or I could just connect all of them after I've made each strip. So that's what I'm gonna do, because it's very confusing because I don't want any of the colors touching. So I kind of have to make the strip and then attach it, and I kind of have to make the strips looking at the last row that I did. And how I'm making the 30 long strips is I made strips of 5, because 5 is an easy number for me to look at and say, yeah, that's 5. 6 strips of 5, and then I connected all 6 together. It's very relaxing to sew these together, but it does take a long time. This took me hours to sew all this together. Yeah, this is gonna take me probably multiple weeks to sew all these together. I can already tell by looking at this though, it's gonna be a really long blanket. I'm really excited. I'll see you sometime in the future. Hey guys, it's a few days later, and I want to update you on my crochet blankets. This is what I have so far. I have 5 rows done. Look at how awesome this looks. It's 30 squares wide by 5 rows. It's already pretty big, and this is only a 1/6 of the way done. It feels awesome already. I know for a fact though, once I wash it, it'll feel a lot better and fluffy. That's what I have experienced working with this yarn, and after washing it, it feels better. None of the same colors are touching. This is exactly how I pictured it would look. It's looking good. I'll update you again, I guess in a few days, and we'll see what I have. I have finished 10 rows, so right now the blanket is 30 by 10 squares. This is how it looks. It's looking pretty bomb. It's only a 1/3 of the way done, and it's already pretty massive. I think it's been 2 weeks in total so far. The back side, it does look a little messy. I've just been using whatever yarn I have, but on the front, you definitely can't tell. The front looks amazing, and the seams all look seamless. Hey guys, just coming in to give you a little update. It's been, I think, a month since I started this whole video, and I just hit the halfway point of sewing the blanket together. Yay! So I have half of the blanket sewn together, which means 15 rows. This isn't it right here. This is me starting the other half, because I have decided to sew the one blanket in 2 parts and then sew it together at the end, because it's just started to become overwhelming having a huge blanket on top of me while I'm trying to sew. I'll show you the situation on the floor here, and I think I'll see you again at the end. Okay, so here are my granny squares at the halfway point. This is what I still have to sew together. I really want this off the ground so I can start other projects. Okay, y'all, I'm almost done with the blanket. I have sewn the two halves, and now I just have to sew them together. I'll go ahead and do that, and I'll be right back. You guys, it's done. My 900-piece granny square crochet blanket masterpiece is finally done. I honestly cannot believe it. I have it laid out here on the ground, and it's like taking up the entire living room, and there's a lot of colors, and it's very stimulating. I'm not going to show you the final reveal until I have washed it and dried it. Washing it and drying it will even out all the granny squares, and also because I've been working on this for 4 months, and it's just been laying on the living room floor for 4 months. So before I can actually like cuddle with it and sleep with it, I wanted to wash it. I'm really scared to wash this thing because what if it just absolutely shreds into pieces? That's months of work down the drain, literally. So yeah, we're just gonna pray to the crochet gods that our piece turns out good after it's been washed. I'm gonna show you all of the scraps that came from this blanket. This whole box is just full of scraps. I cannot believe how much scrap yarn this produced. It looks amazing, but it's just so much. And I'm glad I didn't just throw it all away. 900 granny squares. I cannot believe it. I can't believe I'm finally done with this project because I've been working on it every day for 4 months. Except there was a period where I took like a 2 to 3 week break because I just wasn't feeling it. It was in the summer at some point. I started this September 1st. It's now December 4th. I'll be back after I've washed and dried this, and you'll get to see the final reveal. Okay, boys and girls, a final blanket reveal in 3, 2, 1. Oh, hey. Wasn't expecting to see you here. Do you see all these granny squares? This thing is massive. Here's what it looks like. You could probably fit you and all your friends on here. Yeah, this is a work of art. This should hang up in the Louvre. I feel accomplished. Okay, I just wanted to show you how massive this thing is. Yeah, it's taking up the entire living room. But if you've ever wondered what 900 granny squares looks like, this is it. If you kind of like squint your eyes, it looks like a bunch of pixels. Here it is! It is freaking massive, you guys. Yeah, this thing is amazing. I'm surprised that the wash didn't affect it too much. It did make it a lot softer and fluffier, but I feel like it didn't change the size of the squares that much. Here it is, all of the squares. As you can tell, none of the colors are touching. Like every square has a different color outline. They can be touching corners. Just looks amazing. And every granny square is different. 900 completely different granny squares. I am thoroughly impressed with myself. I am so happy I made this. Totally worth all that time. It's so cozy and comfy, and I love the way the light shows through it. Just amazing. And it fits on a king-size bed. I was going for queen, but king is fine. I'm like super in love with granny squares now, but I definitely need a break from them for at least a few months. Like, this is just amazing, and this yarn was perfect for the project. I'm one happy girl. I hope this has inspired you to do that project that you've always wanted to do. Go out, get the supplies, and if it takes you a year, so be it. It takes a year. Just don't give up, you guys. Don't give up on your big projects because they are worth it. This will be something that gets passed down or possibly put in our museum. That's what I plan on. And I'm so shocked too. I thought this was gonna take me more than a year to make. It took 4 months, which is a long time, but for a huge blanket, it's so retro looking, so 70s. If I take a photo of this, this would be plastered all over Pinterest. If you like this video, please share on Pinterest. Let's get this video up and going on Pinterest, and let's inspire the world to crochet. I really hope you guys enjoyed this crocheting saga. Thank you for being here with me. I will have my 2 previous videos where I work on this granny square blanket linked below in the description, so go ahead and watch those for more behind the scenes on how I made this. If you enjoyed this video, please comment, like, and subscribe. Tell me what other crocheting projects you want me to do. You might inspire me to make something really cool. All my love to you guys. Bye-bye. Wow, this thing is so heavy. If I had to guess how heavy this is, it's gotta be at least 25 pounds. That's a lot of yarn, y'all.